a mystery that holds life lessons for you. You've probably heard of the Titanic, a luxurious ship destined for greatness, but instead it met an untimely end on its maiden voyage. But what if I told you that there's more to the Titanic story than just a tragic accident? What if I told you that hidden within this disaster are lessons that can shape your financial future and possibly save you from making the same mistakes in your life? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll see how the mystery of the Titanic is a warning for all of us, especially when it comes to wealth and success. The Titanic's rise, a symbol of confidence or overconfidence, asterisk, asterisk. The Titanic was more than just a ship. It was a symbol of human ambition and engineering marvel. When it was built, it was considered unsinkable. Unsinkable. Think about that for a second. It was the pride of its makers and the world. But did this confidence blind the people on board? Was the Titanic's ultimate downfall rooted in overconfidence? Now, imagine being an entrepreneur, a young investor, or someone working hard to make a living. How often do we get caught in the trap of thinking our plans are foolproof? Just like the Titanic, many of us build our financial ships without considering the small details, the holes in the ship that might one day sink us. How many of us, just like the Titanic's designers, ignore the risks, convinced that nothing could go wrong? But here's the catch. Overconfidence can cost you everything. The Titanic's tragic end wasn't due to a single mistake, but a series of small, ignored warning signs. The lesson here is, never let your success blind you to the risks ahead. Always prepare for the unexpected, no matter how solid you think your financial foundation is. The iceberg. Warning signs we choose to ignore, asterisk, asterisk. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The Titanic's fateful crash with the iceberg wasn't random. In fact, there were numerous warning signs leading up to the moment the ship collided with it. The crew was warned of icebergs in the area, yet they continued to push ahead at full speed. Why? They were confident, remember that? They thought they could handle it. In the financial world, the iceberg represents those hidden risks we often ignore, the small, insignificant financial decisions that compound over time. How many times have you brushed off that extra small fee on your credit card, or skipped investing for just one more month? You see, just like the Titanic, these seemingly small things add up. That's how people get into financial trouble. They ignore the small warnings, keep speeding forward, and eventually, the iceberg comes out of nowhere. But you don't want to be that person, right? Let me tell you something. The iceberg is coming. The only question is, are you going to hit it, or are you going to navigate around it? You have the power to make the right financial decisions, just like the Titanic had the choice to change course. The lifeboats. What happens after the crisis? Asterisk, asterisk. Now, here's where the story really gets deep. The Titanic's lifeboats were one of the most tragic elements of its disaster. There weren't enough for everyone. Only about 700 people survived, while over 1,500 perished in the cold waters. Why? Because many of the lifeboats were launched half-filled, and some passengers couldn't get to safety in time. But here's the kicker. The lifeboats were there all along. The safety measures were in place, but many passengers didn't act quickly enough. Similarly, in your financial life, there will always be safety nets, the investments, the insurance, the savings, but it's up to you to recognize them and act swiftly. When a financial crisis hits, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. You might think it's too late, just like the passengers of the Titanic who waited too long to reach the lifeboats. But don't wait. Make your moves now, before the financial iceberg hits.